Long ago in England there lived an old woman at the edge of a moor, a great field. But it was a field where crops couldn't be grown. It was the sort of place people avoided at night because they always heard stories of monsters running back and forth through the moor. This woman, she had to cross the moor once a week to go to market. And normally she woke up just before the dawn, saddled her horse, and set off with baskets to sell her goods. This time, though, as fate might have it, when she woke up quite a few hours earlier, just after midnight. And when she saddled and climbed on her horse, not having a clock, she had no idea it was that early. But as she rode across that flat moor, with the heather whistling in the wind, she heard a sound of woof, 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 woof. Hounds chasing something. She could see a glow of red in the horizon. And suddenly, she saw a white leaping hare, a large rabbit, leaping right toward her, ahead of the hounds. It jumped right onto a rock that was right next to the road. Now this old woman, she didn't like seeing things being unfair in the world, and a whole pack of hounds chasing one hare didn't seem very fair. So she reached down and said, "It's okay," picked up the hare, and set it in the wicker basket that was hanging from the saddle of the horse, and closed the lid. She heard those dogs barking, but kept on riding. And then she saw a shape in the distance. She wasn't sure exactly what it was at first. It had horns and 4 legs, and as it came closer she realized what it was. A headless horse, and on its back was a creature that looked a little bit like a man with great horns on its head and red eyes. And even in the dim light she could see sharp white teeth. All around that horse were monstrous hounds, whose eyes glowed red and whose tails had bits of blue flame on the end. The dogs, they were sniffing around, but couldn't seem to find the scent of the rabbit there among all the heather and all the eggs and butter that the woman had in her baskets. The creature on the horse said, "Woman, have you seen a white rabbit running here through the moor?" The woman smiled, for she knew that some creatures like this could tell if you were lying, so she had to find a way to tell the truth, but not let him know the truth. And she said, "Well, I saw no white hare run past me," which was the truth, technically speaking. "All right," said the creature, and he spurred his headless horse forward, and he and the dogs went running across the moor. Now, as she was thinking about what she had just seen, she heard a strange noise and turned to see the pannier basket where she had set the rabbit suddenly opened. But what came out of that basket wasn't a hare. It was a woman dressed all in white, with skin almost white as snow. She had a soft glow about her, and she said, "Good woman, thank you for your help. For years ago, I came under an evil enchantment that I should be a white hare chased across the moor by my enemies, until the time when I could go behind their tails. Because of your help, I've done just that this night." "Well, good for you," said the old woman. "As my thanks," said the woman in white, "you shall always have luck in your life and in your work. Your chickens shall lay 2 eggs apiece instead of 1. Your cows shall always give milk year-round. Your garden will always produce twice as much as it normally would." The good woman smiled and said, "Thank you. Thank you for your gift." And suddenly the woman in white was gone. But when she got to the market, the old woman sold her butter and her eggs for twice what they're normally worth. And her farm had prospered, just as the old woman had said. And even though that devil on the headless horse tried to cause trouble, whenever he did, the woman in white was there as well, protecting the woman and her farm from the evil that might visit. And that's the end of the story.